Rolling. What's so funny?
Because you said we're rolling. We both did it together.
Oh,
The head movement.
too bad they can't see us right now. And this beat's dropping, by the way. You know what time it is. We got Jacob in the motherfucking house, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead and drop 16 right now. Jacob, come on ahead. Get him. 16 bars.
Ooh. 16 bars on the beat?
Right now. You hear the
I
beat?
don't think they're ready for it. I don't think they're ready for it yet. I don't think they're ready for it.
I saw you rapping. Don't act like you ain't out here.
Where? What?
Twitter dropping tracks here and there. Don't act like that, dude.
Drop a little sprinkle. They ain't ready for it.
You putting sprinkles out there now?
They ain't ready for it.
You putting sprinkles out there? Oh,
A little tiny bit.
oh my goodness gracious. He's putting sprinkles out there. Come and get him.
They're ready.
Whose man's is this? You know that? You ever seen
Yeah,
that?
I do.
Putting those sprinkles out there. Come on, man. One of these days you're gonna have to do that 16. Come on.
Have you done a 16?
Oh man, I do them all the time. Yo, the beat's still going. I kind of hear it in my head. I don't even know where I'm at. Better than I'm alive than flat lining. I'm still trying, flying. Yeah, check out my design and I'm still trying, hiding. The brand new Jacob for styling. Came in with the whole new Colin. Was Colin calling? That's like past tense pollen. Get your allergies up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I can't follow that. Shit, I cannot follow that one.
Oh man, I was the tag team. That was like I was throwing you the glove right there. And then the glove like goes on. I was like the Thanos glove. Like I was, Black Spider-Man took it off, and I'm like
the glove was already snapped. It was already snapped.
So what superhero are you in the Marvel universe?
Probably Iron Man. Because I got the smarts.
You think Iron Man is about smarts? That's his that's his is that his number one power?
I mean, if you think about it, it's his brain. He invented all these crazy inventions to make him who he is.
Never thought about it like that.
Who would you be?
Oh, well, I mean, with great power comes great responsibility. I don't even have the choice.
Yeah.
Black Spider.
I can see it.
Me.
I could see it.
I had to
Weirdly enough, I could see it.
It is what it is, and the weird thing is, like, I never thought about it. I think as a kid coming up, I really liked Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
As a kid coming up, I loved Nightcrawler. There was this dope ass X-Men on Sega Genesis. It was super hard, but Nightcrawler was one of the characters. Really fun. That has a lot to do with that.
What are your thoughts on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
I mean, to tell you the truth, I haven't even seen it, so I can't even correct you on the name.
I will tell you, it's the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
Is that right? I've heard that before, and you're not the first person to tell me that I really need to see it. I do need to see it. I just haven't gotten to it, I guess. I'm sorry about that.
No, but you should when you get around to it next movie night. Be like, yo, we have to watch Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse, because that is a movie. I don't think when I worked at the movies, I had people were like, oh, this is my fifth time. This is my fifth time seeing it. They'd come out and tell me, oh, this is the best Spider-Man that I've ever seen. And I've seen all of them.
Yeah, I've heard that. Honestly, I have heard that several times. And I'll look into it. You got my word on that.
Do it. Tell me how you like it, because I think you're going to enjoy it quite a bit.
All right. How's your mental health today, my brother?
Stressful, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't stressed because the elections. It's a lot. There's a lot on the line, and waking up this morning, everything's still uncertain. There's so many options that can happen. So many things, but not just with that, but just everything around it. Tensions between certain sides, but you know, stress, a little bit of anxiety, but it's okay to feel that way. I think for myself, that's what I remind myself is it's completely natural to feel this way. This is a once in a lifetime election. These only happen 4 years, so it's okay to feel this way. Just gotta remind myself to breathe, take a minute, take some time to myself, and just enjoy the day.
Can you tell me about your voting process? How long was that for you? You seem to have done it pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I originally registered as a voter in Sacramento County because I'm from Sacramento, but recently I moved to San Diego. And upon moving here, I thought my residency changed my address, but it didn't. So I went to the polling station. They changed my residency very quick. It probably took around 15 minutes in total after it was all said and done. And it was very easy for me. I'm very lucky because there's other places in the country that have really long wait lines. And I was very, very lucky and fortunate that I was easy to do it that quick.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's good to hear. That's
Yeah,
good.
man. It was definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is a crazy election. But Damien, how's your mental health?
Well, thank you for asking, my brother. My mental health is okay. I feel fine. I feel energized lately. I feel creative lately. I feel responsible lately. Um, I'm not in like my lazy mood. I'm not in my, I don't want to do anything mood. Sometimes that does happen to me and I lose a lot of motivation and I lose a lot of push and hustle. But I would say right now I'm in a really good place as far as just focus and drive and schedule routine is nice. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm still able to incorporate my naps. So,
Would you would you say there's anything in particular that you're doing that's keeping you on track?
what's keeping me on track? Um, I think the difference for me is coffee. I really do. I don't know. It's strange.
Okay.
I
So
think,
you're just saying coffee is in this moment what is helping you out quite a bit, you'd say?
yeah, I think so. Um,
Mm. And you also mentioned naps. How often do you nap?
I take a nap at least once a day.
See, because for me, I feel like if I take a nap, I always wake up grumpy. I always wake up very foggy. Like I cannot get back into the day. But I hear for other people that they're like, oh, I cannot function throughout the day if I don't take a nap. And I don't know. It helps you that much, you think?
I think naps are amazing, man. Naps are a great way for me to restart. You almost get 2 days out of one. And the part with the coffee that I think maybe I'm missing here is before I get to it, let me just note that some people would say coffee is a drug. Some people would say coffee is not good for you and you don't need it and you shouldn't be drinking it on a daily basis, but man, I don't know. I was born in Seattle and
Right next to Starbucks.
well, I mean, I guess
Original.
right outside of Seattle, I should say. It's just known for coffee. People over there just love coffee. I think the coffee for me, what happened the other night was I had some coffee because I knew I had a stream coming up. and it might have been the first cup that I had. I'm lucky enough right now to have this subscription coffee service that comes to my door, and they send me different flavors here and there. And
Mhm.
it was about 2 weeks that I was out. I was just dry and I just didn't have coffee. And when I don't have coffee, I kind of go into this mood like, well, I don't need to be awake. So why do I need coffee, right? When I do have coffee, I'm like, okay, well, I got this fuel here, so I can kind of do double output today. And I had some coffee for the first time that night because the delivery came in the middle of the day. I had a stream. Might have had a nap when I woke up, and maybe I was feeling groggy. I don't know. Maybe I didn't even have a nap, and I just wanted a cup of coffee to push me through this stream. And I had it, and initially I was like, oh, I'm gonna be awake all night. I'm gonna be pacing and just twiddling away on the internet, playing video games or something. I need to get some sleep. Maybe I shouldn't have this coffee this late. But I had the coffee and I still managed to go to sleep at a certain time. And the next day, I woke up even earlier than I had before, like the last month or something. It was weird. It was very strange.
And woke up, were you feeling like completely energetic? Were you feeling a little more tired than usual?
When I woke up at 6 a.m. the following morning, I was feeling supercharged, like super creative.
That's crazy. That's really crazy because people say that coffee is supposed to make you a lot more tired. But when I speak to people who drink coffee on like a daily basis, it doesn't seem to be like that at all for anybody that I really talk to. Unless they have a sincere coffee addiction where they're drinking 4 cups a day, which is an actual thing. And on that point, I would say maybe coffee is a drug because of the caffeine levels. But I think a cup a day isn't going to harm anybody. I mean, as long as it's pushing you through your day, I don't think there's a big problem with it.
Yeah, to everything, to a degree. You don't abuse anything, whatever it is. And to another way, you could say anything is a drug or
A
addiction.
drug. I was literally just thinking that. Yeah.
Cake, Oreos. Some people are
The
just
worst drug,
super addicted to Oreos.
worst drug though, it's the one in our hand. That's the worst drug in the world.
What is that?
The one in our hand, the one that we always have in our hand.
Oh, the phone.
Yeah, that's the worst drug in the world. People don't say it's a drug, but that is a drug. I don't care what anyone says. Your phone is a drug, and you are addicted to it.
Wow. Talk about that. That's great.
I mean, I'm addicted to it. I'm not gonna lie. I know I am, and I hate when people try to act like they aren't. But it's true. I mean, now we're able to check our screen times. Tell me what your screen time is a day, right? Your screen time could be, depending on how much you use it, could range from 4 hours to 8 hours. And think about how much time out of your day that actually is. You're only awake for what, 12 hours ish a day? Let's see. I wake up at, I'm only awake for like 15, 16 hours out of the day. And if I'm on my phone for 8, that's half my day. I'm not even like living my entire day. I'm wasting half of it on my phone doing what? You know, it's just a time waster, but it's an actual drug because phones are programmed almost like slot machines. You hear that ding, you hear that text, and it gives you a nice little amount of dopamine to your brain. You want to look at it more. You want to look at it more. All the bright colors, everything. It's like candy to your brain. You're just addicted to it. It's an actual drug, but people don't really classify it as a drug because it's not a substance or something you can consume orally, but you're consuming it mentally. So I would definitely consider your phone a drug.
That's super deep, my friend. Super deep. I never thought about that like that. The phone as a drug. I've definitely thought of the phone as an addictive device that far too many, if not the majority of individuals are addicted to. And it's obvious. It's so obvious that people don't want to put the phone down, that people can't put the phone down, that people aren't willing or ready. However, I do encourage using that screen time app within the Apple world of iOS as much as you can, because there are some benefits to blocking out certain hours and using certain apps. You don't need to be on Instagram right before you go to sleep, but I mean, I guess we all do it. I think some nights I don't go on Instagram before I go to sleep and I miss something. Like last night, for instance, like I put up a post of music and mental health, and the link that I posted on my Instagram on the swipe up link, it was just franchise Travis Scott instead of the music and mental health video. And that was
Hmm.
an accident. But I finished the stream last night and I just fell right asleep because I didn't check my Instagram before I went to sleep. And when I woke up, I was like, damn. So I had to fix
Yeah,
that. Missed a little promotional opportunity, but whatever. But that's I guess the negative side of not looking at it before you go to sleep. But I think there's a better benefit in the long run. I don't know. What do you think about that?
man. I think. Well, this was just on my mind while you were speaking because um, I think another reason why I think it's a drug is because if you took these today's generation of like 20-year-olds, you took them to a mountain, right? No reception, not even a mountain. Let's just say like something happened where all the cell towers were down. There was no reception. There's no Instagram. There's no Twitter. No one can communicate through phone. I think people would start having legit withdrawals, actual withdrawals, where they're like always checking their phone, trying to see because they need it. They're always checking it, even though they know they don't have a reception. They don't have no one's texting them. They're getting what are they going to do now? They're going to take pictures. They're going to do any last thing they can to stay on it because I know me. I've tried to get off my phone because sometimes I feel like I'm a fiend. I feel like I'm fiending for my phone during the day, and I do try to use a screen time app. And I've caught myself so casually just pressing ignore limit for today when I have the restriction for I think I have like
Right.
30 minutes on Instagram a day. And
It is really easy to ignore, right?
yeah, you just ignore it's 2 clicks. I mean, who's gonna stop me? It's just me. Just 2 clicks. Fuck it. I don't care. I'll do it tomorrow. I won't go on for more than 30 minutes tomorrow. But it's so easy just to click past it because you're addicted to it.
How admirably admirable for you to be able to admit that, Jacob.
I'm not, yeah, I'm
That,
not gonna lie.
that's no, I think that's great because I do the same thing. And I think the answer to that, Apple, is you need to, I'm talking to Apple, you need to add a more challenging way penalty for trying to reopen it. It needs to be like, I don't even know, maybe like what if it was like a trivia question or something that stimulated your brain and you had to like really think about it.
Or almost something that guilted you. Be like, you know, just like a quote. You know that the 30 minutes you spent today, you could have done that reading or hanging out with your family, hanging out with your friends. Because then that would make me go, oh shit, okay, you know what? Maybe I should just sink back into real life instead of this virtual world that means nothing.
I don't think the quote would be more uh you slap in the face, then add 15 minutes or 60 minutes or approve all day. Like that's the quote's pretty much the same thing. That's it. They pretty much equal each other out. To me, I think the way to stop it, people getting on these phones, is you gotta make it more challenging for them to get back in there. They have to have a reason, like a way that's going to like they
Legitimately stop them.
exactly, like instead of just writing, just pressing a button, it needs to be a quiz or a huge password that you don't feel like typing in, very complicated one that you have to remember, or one of those annoying uh
Capture boxes, like
yes,
confirm you're a human.
yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, those are
That will
annoying. If
stop
I
people from
if
getting.
I had to do those boxes, click the bicycle, click the crosswalk, do like 4 of those, I would be off that app in 2 seconds. I hate those.
Yeah, tell me about it. Those are the worst in the world. Nobody wants to deal with those things.
No, I was this one's kind of a little bit off topic, but I have this written down. I was walking at the beach and I was thinking about my mental health and how far I've came over the last 4 years with my mental health. And I was thinking, imagine, I also tweeted this to see input, but imagine if we it also goes along with the election with like our government. Imagine if our government had made us take classes in high school for mental health, freshman through senior year, 4 years. Imagine if they had made us take classes and they educated us on mental health and ways to deal with mental health and types of anxieties, types of phobias, types of depression, because there's not just one type of depression, it's not just one type of anxiety. There's quite a bit. And they told us that, and they educated us on triggers, and they educated us on um, all these subjects within mental health. And I was thinking about that. I said, imagine where we'd be in 20 years if we did that to today's youth. Imagine where our world would be in 20 years with the stigma of mental health and the constant struggle. Imagine the impact that would make on our world. And I think one day, maybe not this election, but I think we should vote on that. I think that should be something we vote on, is teaching mental health to our fellow students or fellow kids, because I think it's such an important topic that we just kind of beat around the bush with. Everyone knows it's there, but you don't really say anything. It's like the elephant in the room.
Well, for starters, that's completely on topic. It's definitely not off topic at all.
Well, we went from iPhone to this, but I just had to get that off my chest because I was like,
All very connected. All very connected. You get it off your chest, Jacob. It's all Gucci. That's what we're here to do. Get it off your chest. We got to get it off. Okay? Let it go. These thoughts, these ideas, and these worries, and this brainstorming. This is a think tank for the betterment of the world. And you're right. It's really interesting to think about health back in high school, but they never really attached the mental part of it. They do teach the subject of health. I think nationwide, I would believe. I guess I could be wrong, but I know in my curriculum of the dirty South, ATL, dirty, dirty, dirty. Can y'all really hear me? You go to West, go to. I don't think it says East Coast or West Coast in that. But it does dirty, dirty. I believe whatever. So shout out to Timberland and Leah. No doubt, health was taught statewide. I'm going to assume that's nationwide, but never during any of my classes was mental health discussed, was that idea even touched or opened up. And when I say that idea, I mean the worst of the worst in terms of poor mental health. No one even wanted to educate that or attempt to examine that, to discuss that. And perhaps when we do that, what are we setting ourselves up for failure? Are we setting ourselves up for terrible exploration that results in tragedy? It's really sad. But I bet you know what? Some kids knew to stretch very nicely before they took the 100-meter dash, because in health they learn perhaps that stretching relieves tense muscles which could strain. You it's like, really think about that. Think about that comparison of the physical health to the mental side of health. And nationwide, if these institutions really did push for that within the curriculum.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a speech from J. Cole. I was on YouTube. I was watching live concert videos because I was missing in person concerts, and I saw this speech from J. Cole, and for his song, it was right before he performed the song "Love Yours," and he basically said like, "That's what we're taught from a young age. Like, what do you do when you see a baby cry? You go, shh, you shush the, you like, shut it up, right? Anything to make the baby stop." But we do that to each other when we're struggling mentally, like health wise. We don't try to help people most of the time. Most of the time, people just try to shush you. They listen. They don't really care. And you're brought up, and by the time this is what he said. He said, by the time you're 20, you have all this weight on your shoulders all over you. No one taught you how to deal with it. And then 30 hits, and you don't know how to deal with it. And then 40 hits, and then he said, I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to wait till I'm 50 to deal with my problems. I'm trying to deal with my shit today, like, because any day could be my last. I really thought about that. And it made me take initiative to want to fix some of the problems that I had occurred within my life up to this point where I am right now. And because he was right, I really took that to heart. I was like, life is too short. People die every single day from anything. I mean, that's like dark, but that's life. And I would hate to pass without what's on my mind with my mental health being unsaid. If anything's bothering me in specific with family or friends, I would like to let that be known, fix it before it's too late, before one day you can never do that.
Mm. Yeah. That's deep, man. That's deep. This is very deep stuff. Just to transition, but slightly still connected here. How do you think the extension of these elections within the vote, which is unlike anything that has ever happened before, does that affect your mental health at all? And this
I
whole
was
political
I
process?
would I would say it would just cause me more um, baggage of this time for the next week. Just a lot more baggage like hanging on me because like it's something that I want to know because me my personal views, I'm concerned for other people. I can see that other people in the world are concerned. Um, where I'm at, I'm voting for other people. Like, I do not like one of the candidates, and I'm voting for other people's rights, I believe. And it makes me sad to see one of my family members who uh, is concerned for his rights. And it makes me really sad to see that because he's a human being. And I think that it's really hard to watch someone you love, people you care about, really be concerned legitimately about their rights as a human being. And so it does make a little bit more um, baggage on me throughout the week, waiting for these results. But I just tell myself it's okay because this is normal to feel, and I know I'm not the only one feeling this way. But yeah, it definitely does take a little bit of a toll.
Did you lose any sleep on behalf of what happened yesterday with the extension?
No, because I'm on West Coast, so I could basically see everything happening, like everything late on the East Coast. I could see it happening here on the West Coast at a decent time. And when I woke up, the only thing I woke up to this morning was Michigan tipped blue. But I kind of assumed that was going to happen, so I knew that I wasn't going to miss anything. But when I go to bed, I really just I have my own method of going to bed. I just block my thoughts out, have my own way. But I didn't really lose any sleep over it.
Hmm. It's interesting. It was the first thing I looked at as soon as I woke up.
Yeah, I woke up and I refrained from looking at my phone because I knew if I looked at my phone, I'd be like too consumed in what had happened overnight and go back to bed. So I just didn't even look at it. I just rolled back over.
Yeah, I jumped in it head first. I was like, let me digest
did it
all of this.
did it affect your sleep?
I went to sleep knowing that by the time I was knocked out, people would still be voting. So there's no way any announcements could be going up. So I was like, well, I'll just see it in the morning. So,
Mm.
I think I was up around 6:30 today, and by 7 o'clock, I could see this was something new. Yesterday was the day polls closed nationwide, and today, unlike any other day in the history of my knowledge, has there been an occasion where we don't know who the president is. Very strange thing.
This is absolutely insane. And a crazy part is also, no matter how stressful this is, I also look at it as reminding myself we're living in a part of history right now. This is going to be a whole 2020 will be in a textbook for our grandchildren and great grandchildren to read, right? But this election right here is already historic in the sense that it's never really been done, where you don't know the winner and takes place in a pandemic, and we are literally living in history right now. So I always remind myself that because it makes me feel not warranted, but nor special in any means. But that's just a crazy concept to really grasp.
Yeah, man. It's wild. It's very wild. It's different. This is a very different time. It's a very different world we're living in. And who knows what will come. That's the part that I'm carrying away from this the most. The fact that we do not know what's going to happen. And the fact that what's happening is brand new. So not only do you not know what's going to happen, you've never dealt with this before. So you're kind of thrown into this situation where it's just wild.
It's just question marks. That's how I look at it. It's just a bunch of question marks. And that's why I try not to jump to any assumptions either way of what I want. I just tell myself, just wait with time and we'll figure it out, relax, because I'm just going to stress myself out even more if I jump to any assumptions or conclusions, because this is something historically we've never seen. So it's best to not make any conclusions.
Damn. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe, be well, be good to each other during this process, of course.
The most important thing.
Yeah. So, slightly transition into music. What have you been listening to today?
Today, right before we got on here, I was listening to The Climb Up by J. Cole. I was thinking about, let's keep on this topic. Let's keep on this topic. Lil Pump went on stage with Trump. And like 4 years ago, he had tweeted, fuck Trump. And then now he's on stage with him he's trying to grab clout off that. And I was just, ironically, I was listening to KOD. I'm a huge J. Cole fan. And I was listening in 1985. And I was thinking, holy shit, this song aged extremely well. Because the song 1985 was about Lil Pump. And I was thinking, holy shit, this aged extremely well. this to me proves why J. Cole, I mean, he's so ahead of his time. I don't think people really, he gets way too much hate, way too much hate. And I started listening to his new singles, and I'm so excited for his next project, 1985, The Fall Off. I think that's what it's called. It's called The Fall Off, right? I believe. But I'm really excited for his next album. And I think it's been like 2 years, almost 3 years since he dropped a project.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I really like J. Cole's later work for sure. I'm definitely a fan of his newer projects he's released. I
2014,
20
like 2014. Is that like what you're like around there or before there?
I probably jumped on the J. Cole train around 2015,
Okay.
2016. Yeah. And I just didn't know him really. I was listening to a lot of stuff. I'm always listening to a lot of stuff. Majority of music that I listen to is from previous decades. And I think I may have mentioned recently on episode 18, in fact, that I've been listening to like 90s new
R&B, right?
R&B, right? And I mentioned an artist, in fact, that a group that I couldn't name. I was just listening to him again tonight. The name of the group is Soul for Real. Soul for Real. Oh, kind of a tongue twister right there. Soul for Real. The name of the album is Candy Rain. And the single's Candy Rain. Everybody knows Candy Rain. I hope it's a great song. Definitely check that out. But the second joint on the album, I'm really loving. I believe it's Every Little Thing I Do, You're on My Mind. The name of the song might be You're on My Mind. It's incredible. It's such a good song.
The way that you said that reminded me of I think it was because you said every little thing. I thought of Bob Marley. I thought you were gonna say you were listening to some Bob Marley.
I listen to Bob Marley. I like Bob Marley a lot.
I like Bob Marley, particularly in the mornings. If I'm just waking up and it's sunny, something about listening to Bob Marley around 10 to like 12 hits a lot different than listening to him at nighttime.
I discovered Bob Marley really hit me on New Year's of 2017. On the first day, the first moment of 2017, I started playing Keeping Up with the Wailers by the Wailers. I believe the name of the might be Bob Marley and the Wailers, but the cover art might actually just say the Wailers. And
I think it does.
The name of it is definitely Keeping Up with the Wailers. And that was when Bob Marley really hit me, and that's when the genius of Bob Marley really hit me. And then I started to really study the discography of Bob Marley. And I loved everything. And it had new meanings. Of course, I've heard Bob Marley my whole life, but it didn't really click until that New Year's night. And I said all that to say that might be the only time I really have listened to Bob Marley in the night also.
Really?
Every other time, when you were saying that, I was like, oh, listen to Bob Marley at night. And I was like, damn, wow. Bob Marley is definitely somebody that I'm going to turn on either at the start of the morning or a nice sunny drive. Maybe sunset. I'll play like a couple joints. But
maybe
I'll rarely play Bob Marley at night. Super, super rarely. And I think, in fact, the only time I have played Bob Marley at night was that New Year's night.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever listened to Bob. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've ever listened to him at nighttime. Ever.
So interesting. That's such an interesting thing. What does that mean? Does that mean Bob Marley is the sun, the light,
Ooh,
the the golden ray of positive energy and influence and
brightens
vibration?
the world, brightens your day.
Yeah. Bob Marley's incredible. A lot of Bob Marley's lyrics are also about the morning. I will say that. Definitely on Kaya. My favorite Bob Marley album is Kaya.
Mm.
And many references to the morning lyrically on that album. I'm pretty sure.
Who have you been listening to lately? Or have you only been listening to like 90s and old music?
Um, Before that, I have been listening to a lot of 70s,
Ooh.
a lot of early 70s, a lot of Isley Brothers. I'm listening to a lot of Isley Brothers. I love Isley Brothers. I go through phases with the Isley Brothers. Um, I was listening to Isley Brothers today, even. Who's That Lady? Was the single on that album, but it also features Summer Breeze, which of course is a Mamas and Papas song, but they covered it.
Have you ever heard I think her name is Nora Jones. Have you ever heard of Nora Jones?
Yes, I have heard of Nora Jones. Yes.
I've been listening to a lot of her lately on the beach.
Nora Jones is nice. Nora Jones is very pleasant, very easy listening, very nice,
Easygoing.
great music.
I was listening to the Marshall Tucker Band. Do you know who that is?
No, I do not.
It's like a rock, a classic rockish band. Um, and the song was called what's the name of the song? It's about a girl, and I was blasting. I was making breakfast, and some dude gonna knock on my apartment door. Some dude just is like, "Hey, I just want to stop by and tell you that like I fucking love Marshall Tucker, and you made my morning, so thank you." And I thought about that, and I was like, "You're welcome." Yeah, and we just talked, and then I shut the door, and I was like, "Damn, like music is so powerful." Like I always say this, but I mean, imagine you're just walking by someone's apartment, and that was the last thing I had expected was someone to knock on my door and just be like, "Yo, this band, right? That I don't even think is a huge band anymore. I don't even think that many people probably listen to him around my age." And homeboy knocks on my door and was like, "Yo, yeah, like made my morning. Like I love Marshall Tucker. I thought I was the only one." Isn't that insane how music can really make a difference and impact, even if it's not physically through the musical lyrics, but through friendships? I think that's so beautiful. And I don't think a lot of people talk because I don't think people appreciate music like that anymore.
Music is a powerful thing. Music brings people together. Music is the cure to the world. Music will bring the world round around the direction it needs to be going through love and unity, where everyone can go to a concert and have a good time and sing songs. Too bad concerts
You know,
are potentially a thing of the past.
you know, who would you want to see in concert right now? You get three artists to see in concert right now, full sold out, 100,000 people in the crowd. You get front row, or
Stevie?
actually Stevie Wonder
Mm-hmm.
as number one.
Mm-hmm.
Two more or no?
Frank Ocean.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, number three.
Mm. Give me a second to think about that.
I would say Frank Ocean is one of mine as well. Just because of the rarity it is to see Frank Ocean in concert itself is pretty insane because he does not perform, but also the fact that he is one of the most talented artists of 2010s, the last decade, the last generation of music. I'd say Frank Ocean is revolutionary. I would definitely put him up there.
Hell yeah, no doubt. Huge fan. I'm a huge fan. Number 2 for you?
I'd probably say Drake. Honestly, I know that's pretty typical, but Drake has so many classics. When I think about it, I look at his discography and I look at, oh, if you're reading this, it's too late, or even before that with Take Care. Um, I don't have a Drake project I don't enjoy. And I've never like I grew up on Drake and I'm still listening to like his last release, Laugh Now Cry Later. And I'm still enjoying it. That's so insane for an artist to be able to still make quality music that's still appealing to people 10 plus years later. And I would, with 100,000 people at a Drake concert, that'd go insane. That'd be such a fun time. And once again, Drake will go down as a once in a generation artist. I really think so. I really believe that.
You got number 3?
Ooh. I would say something modern. I was just thinking this. I would say something modern, but I almost want to say an old band that maybe not a lot of people listen to today. I might even just say the Eagles, to be honest with you. I think that their music is so great to me. And I miss that aspect of, we talked about this last time, but I miss that aspect of hearing music live, seeing someone with a guitar, with drums, with a keyboard, compared to artists just walking up with a laptop and a microphone. I think the Eagles would probably be my number 3.
My number 3 is going to be Sade.
Who?
Sade.
Never heard of that artist in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an emergency. Ladies and gentlemen, he's never heard. Ladies and gentlemen, he's never heard of Sade.
Never ever.
What?
What year? Like 1990?
Yeah, I would say
How do I even spell that?
90s. Sade. Man,
Never heard.
Come on, man.
Nope.
Gotta give Joe Biden. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sade, man. She's Sade. And I'm telling you. Her name's Sade, and we got to start singing up for her. If you don't know who Sade is, then you're not voting for me. Listen.
Oh my gosh.
Listen to me.
Why are you kind of killing this though? Like absolutely looking like the video that I've seen.
What do you mean?
Joe Biden. You kind of kill that impression.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Who was it that he brought on stage? Oh, it was Despacito. It was Despacito. Who sings Despacito? I don't even know.
Despacito. I don't know either, actually. I'm sorry.
You saw that video though, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe mean to see.
That's exactly basically what it looked like. He bought them on stage playing Despacito. Everyone's like, interesting. Did you listen to I sent you a link. I'm just wondering. Did you listen to Brent Faiyaz?
Brent Faiyaz. You did send me a link. I don't remember clicking on it though. Unfortunately. So no, I did not listen to Brent Fayez. I need to do that. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I would recommend Brent Fayez. I've really been getting into Brent Fayez lately. I don't even know how to explain his style of music. I'd say he's almost I can't even compare his music to another artist, another album. I think that's probably why I like him so much.
Okay. Brent Fayez. I'm gonna get back on that. But you definitely gotta get on that Sade. It's funny because
I'll
you're
listen.
talking about
Yeah,
want to hear a band with like drums and guitar and like music and a performance, something live, and Sade like just rang straight to my head, and I was just like, yes.
okay, then give me your favorite song from Sade. Because a lot of times, like I'll
Like I
recommend
said, you
someone
gotta go
music.
with the album, and the album I think you should start with is Diamond Life.
Diamond Life.
I thought I told you that before, but I just said it in my head. I guess. Glad I said it again.
Because I'm still on the. I'll be writing stuff down. There's no Sade. I have My Morning Jacket. The Day Is Coming.
Did you hear that one?
No, not yet. Not yet. Not gonna lie. Kuso. Oh wait, that was the movie we were talking about.
Mm-hmm. I'll go.
Scary ass movie. And then Danny Seth Popstar. Shouts out Danny Seth over in the UK.
Yeah, shout out to Danny Seth one more time. Danny Seth Popstar. Almost nice that we get a chance to review the music from last week. And we are doubling up this week, ladies and gentlemen, on music and mental health. We wanted to stay a bit current with the recent changes, historically speaking, with the election, with the extension of the counting of the polls. We wanted to give an opportunity to touch that historically and document our minds during this strange new day that we have never encountered before. What
A
scares you?
one of what?
I kind of threw a curveball at you.
All right, throw it.
I do you want to get out what you were gonna say first, and then I can throw the curveball after?
Throw the curveball. I'm ready.
You sure you don't want to say what you were gonna say?
Yeah, I'm in the batter's box right now. I'm already loaded up.
What scares Jacob Lucero?
What scares me? And this is gonna be a long discussion. What scares me is love. That is the scariest thing in the world to me. The absolute, without a doubt, um, that is the scariest fucking encounter, scariest anything I've ever had in my life.
Why are you scared of love?
Um, I just never really was showed love and affection when I was a child. Um, I had a very dysfunctional household, and one of my parents was not there for me in my life, and the other parent that was there was a complete. They were very stubborn on me. They were very much an asshole, and they never showed me any type of love and affection with my feelings and emotions. So, growing up, I never had anyone around me, and to really tell me it's okay to love someone or show emotions or anything like that. And I think it really put a dent in um, my heart, because growing up, after I had experienced that, I had to realize like shit, I've never fucking um, gotten these feelings of like love from somebody that I love. I don't know what it's really like to extend my heart to someone and experience that, and I don't know what it's like for someone to do that with me. And eventually someone did come along, and I fell in love with someone. They fell in love with me, and that really stressed me out because I hadn't known what to do with it. I worked past it, and we're no longer together anymore. But it just reminds me of that recurring theme of love just kind of walking out of my life, and never really staying or being there for me, with
How
people
long
that I
that relationship lasts, if you don't mind me asking?
roughly 2 years. So that was like the very first experience that I had really ever had with it. And they kind of just walked out of my life, just like one of my parents did. And it fucking sucked. And it still sucks. It's still something that affects me every single day. And there's not much I can do about it, but it scares me.
Damn, brother, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
That's all good.
You're definitely okay to express your feelings. You're definitely okay to tell people how you feel. You're definitely okay to get things off your chest, to let things go, to process things, to discuss things in a community or discuss things privately or discuss things publicly. I think whatever you want to do and whatever institution, device, or form of media you want to use to do so, you should express yourself. Expression is the greatest thing anyone can do because expression often leads to creation. Creation can lead to art. Art can lead to change and impacting someone. And through your expression and that art, someone can be changed and that seed can be planted in someone else's psyche. And perhaps your struggles can help their struggles. And in a way, you both can benefit from that. So I would encourage you to write about these frustrations, listeners out there, whatever you are scared of. And with Jacob specifically, I think that so much is poetic itself already. Scared of love. That's a that's a beautiful song waiting to be written there. I know you don't sing, but you definitely write a lot to write some movies and scripts, I believe, perhaps, and books.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, that's a beautiful thing. Scared of love. Not to say that I'm encouraging your fears. I'm just saying there's so much poetic value in expressing what that fear is, right? And perhaps
Yeah.
that expression can help the process of healing the wounds.
Yeah, man. It is beautiful. Like, I hate when it's beautiful. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Like, I hate that it is beautiful. I hate that it happened to me. But ultimately, at the end of the day, like, it's made me who I am, and it's made me have these lessons.
Before we go any further, just one more time, I just want to reiterate, I wasn't saying that your story and your
No, I know. I know.
history is beautiful. I was just saying that
The
on
concept of
paper,
it. Yeah.
on paper,
The
scared of
concept.
love is beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying too, because it is beautiful. And like I 100% agree. Um, it's beautiful. And like I think about it every day. Um, and I think the best thing about it that's helping me is just time. And sometimes you don't get that closure from people. And it was like I was saying earlier in the podcast, like I'm only 20 years old, but I don't want to die tomorrow or yesterday or a week or whenever and have these problems, have these people know like they've really fucking affected me and affected my outlook and made like a legitimate fear within me and built some trauma. And that's kind of a hard, it's a legit fear for me. And I think every human being, I think we as human beings, a natural emotion we want is just to be loved, whether that be romantically or from a family member or maybe even from a friend. I mean, that's like one of the most important traits and values that we can have, one of the most important emotions we can express and give to somebody and take in. I mean, it's something that we should never be deprived of. And for me, the way I look at it is whenever I do have a family, whenever I do have another partner again, whenever that may be, I'm not pushing it. I don't care. What's meant to be is meant to be. But whenever that does happen, I'll make sure that I'm never like that with my family. And I do use this as a lesson to really kick into gear.
Thank you for sharing that with us, bro. I really appreciate that, my brother.
Thank you.
No, thank you, man. Thank you. You will get through that fear eventually. I don't see that being your kryptonite for the majority of your life. I think eventually you will fix that. And the part of you that will fix that is the part that won't allow what you had. Because me too, to be honest, I did not have the greatest childhood. I did not feel great amounts of love as a child growing up. I did not get great amounts of attention upon my journey into being a artist. I was not congratulated for my exploration in the world of stage and music. It was something that I had to deal with, but perhaps it made me tougher. Perhaps it made me stronger. Perhaps it prepared me defensively to go out there and to go through this fight. Everything does happen for a reason. Everything that happened to me, whether I like it or not, sculpted me into who I am. And it's important for us to accept who we are and to be thankful for our journey, because much like that kryptonite along the way, not only do we gain weaknesses, but we also gain strengths and powers to defeat the evil within, my friend. And what I'm trying to say is, Jacob, if I may, please, if I'm offending, please pardon me. You have a gift because of what has happened. You have a gift because of this sadness. There would be no artists in this world if there was no sadness. So, to anyone out there who's listening right now who doesn't know what to do with their sadness, who doesn't know what to do with their depression or their hard times, I would beg you, please turn it into art. Shape it into something, sculpt it into something, form it into something, write it into something, speak it into something, sing it into something, produce it into something, film it into something, take it into something, and share it, to let go of it, to get rid of it. And maybe someone else can pick it up along the way and grab onto it. On that note, I guess I could go into what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what are you afraid of?
I tried to shut the show down. I was like, all right, and that's it for music and mental health. But I was like, wait a second, I guess maybe I haven't.
Nope, you gotta tell us your biggest fear.
Um my biggest fear, I believe, is the idea of not being able to do what I want to do. To not be able to get to where I want to go.
So, you mean that in the sense of
And perhaps that's quite selfish. Perhaps that's quite um conceited of me. I'm not sure what that is, but when I say me, I mean my legacy, my
I don't think that's
family.
I don't think that's conceited by any means at all. I think that that's a that's a great mindset to have though, because at the end of the day, you're doing it for yourself. You have your goals, you have your ambition, you have your drive, and whatever you may be referring to, like we're getting to where you need to be. That's the most important. That's so important. And I don't think that's conceited or selfish in any sense.
Well, thank you. And hopefully whatever I'm running from leads me to where I want to go, I guess.
What do you mean by running from?
The fear of not getting there, the fear of not achieving that ascension. It's like the
Is
fire
is that fear
burning
an
behind me.
external? Is it external or internal?
It's an internal fire. It's an internal fire, and it is a non-existent fire and a invisible fire.
Fire or but I'm saying for fear though. Is it an internal fear, external, or kind of a combination of maybe both?
That's an internal fear.
You'd say it's internal.
Yes, no doubt. That's an internal fear for sure.
And are you at bay? Like not at bay, but do you recognize maybe a route, like a specific example? See, for me, because for me, um, if I'm depressed, right, some days I know it's because, oh, I'm thinking of this person and this is like my fear, but I know like this is why I'm feeling like this. I know the exact cause, I know the trigger, I know the reason. Do you have any specific examples? You don't have to say, but I'm just wondering, do you have any specific examples of that?
Yes, I do, in fact. And I think we all can most likely attach to some of this fear to some way or another. And that's the unknown of COVID 19, the unknown of that whole dynamic in the world and what that's doing to the world. And I think perhaps that's where this fear rooted from for me. Perhaps this fear came about through quarantine, just being unsure, just being not definite. There is no guarantee anything. Nothing is guaranteed. Anything can happen. And when
I
we're
think
all
it's
living in this world of uncertainty, it's very difficult to navigate this fear that is attached to me. And I was saying earlier, it's like a fire behind you on a video game in like a level, and like the fire's like continually going. It's like the slower
Like Temple Run.
right, the slower you go, the more the fire comes. So it's like you can't really just take your time like running about trying to get to the land or trying to get to the checkpoint at the end. You have to go, but also there's a fire behind you, and it's like that. That's
But how I think it's very admirable that you can acknowledge that there's even a fire behind you, right? Because I feel like I have seen some people in my life, family members or whoever it may be, not acknowledge that fire, and then that fire hits, and then they kind of just get eaten alive by it, and it isn't until the fire is even out, it's overtaken them, that they realize like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should have worried about that earlier. And so I would say that that's kind of a almost not like a blessing, but I think that's a great recognition that you are even admiring that there's a fire behind you, right? Because it's so easy just to kind of ignore it, push it to the side, and think, okay, I'll deal with it tomorrow. I'll deal with it the next day. I'll deal with it a week. I'll deal with it in a month. Because a lot of people do that. And I think that it's very admirable that you do recognize that.
Thank you, my brother. I take that as a compliment. Kind of weird to be thanking someone for what I'm afraid of, perhaps, but I hear exactly what you're saying, and I hear the motivation within it, and I appreciate that.
Of course.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Thank you to all the listeners out there. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for helping out a wonderful launch on season 2. We see all the engagement, all the shares, all the tweets, all the feedback, all the comments, all the likes, and thumbs up. We really appreciate that, guys. We really appreciate that. We have a Twitch incoming soon. For music and mental health. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Thumbs up, leave comments, share the video, the whole 9 yards, and visit the Music and Mental Health Patreon. We really appreciate the support. Thank you for everything. Peace. Until next time. Any last words, Jacob?
I just gotta say thank you for the support. Premiere was amazing, and anyone who's listening to this, we really appreciate you more than you know. And I just gotta say thank you, because I appreciate we both appreciate this more than you know. Just thank you.
All right. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, be well, be good. Be good to each other during these crazy times, during these wild times that we're going through. But of course, don't forget to be good to yourself. Peace and love, all the above. Adios.